find out if he is.
And outs.
Yeah, when you said first of many, I'm glad you've said ins and outs, because I think it is going to be a pretty busy summer for Manchester United. You've got a few players who are out of contract anyway, who've already said their goodbyes. We're not going to see Christian Eriksen and Victor Lindelof and Johnny Evans, you don't think, in a Manchester United shirt again. They came to the end of their contracts. And then there's so much uncertainty surrounding a few of their other players. You've got Marcus Rashford, who went on loan to Aston Villa. Aston Villa had an option to buy him for £40 million. It doesn't look like that they're going to take up that option. They haven't got Champions League football for next season. Marcus Rashford would want to play Champions League football next season. There's all sorts of talk about Rashford and Barcelona. Will they come in with an offer? Will they come in with a permanent offer? Will they pay the £40 million that Manchester United want? Or will it indeed be another loan with a view to buying him on a permanent basis come the summer? Then there's Antony. Performed so well at Real Betis, and I think Manchester United will probably think, actually, this was a good move for all parties, this move to Real Betis, because if they were to try and sell him on a permanent basis in January, I'm not sure how much money Manchester United would have got on him. As you said, is wedded to this 3-4-2-1 formation that he is stuck with from minute one, from when the first game came around against Ipswich Town at Portman Road in the Premier League. And people were speculating, well, he probably won't go three at the back because United are used to four. He said, no, this is how I want my team to play, and this is going to be my formation. He's basically effectively saying, if they didn't want to play three at the back, they needn't have employed me. So Manchester United went into that appointment with their eyes wide open. And I think Matheus Cunha is a player that Ruben Amorim will see, and how he's performed at Wolves in the formation that Manchester United play, in the formation that Ruben Amorim wants to play, and think he'll fit right in here at Old Trafford.
Very interesting how he does fit in as well, what the ramifications are for Bruno Fernandes if indeed he stays, as he dropped back to deeper in midfield, as he's played a little bit this season. Now, will this be the first of many for Amorim this summer, both in terms of ins?
Smith, let's find out if he is.
And how much they would have recouped of that £80 million they paid to Ajax a couple of summers ago. But he's performed so well for Real Betis, was instrumental in helping them get into the Europa Conference League final, which they didn't win, of course, because they lost to Chelsea. But I wonder what that would have done for their value for Antony. Also, Jadon Sancho, he's been on loan at Chelsea. We think that now Chelsea will try and renegotiate his contract, and because they're not going to be able to afford the wages that he's on at Manchester United. They want him to fit into Chelsea's wage structure. Will they be able to do that and then trigger the £23.5 million permanent sale that Manchester United would want? Or will they say thanks but no thanks and then pay the penalty, which we think is around £5 million to Manchester United for not taking up that obligation? And then there's Alejandro Garnacho as well. Hasn't been enamoring... I don't think United are too pleased with some of his social media posts of late, particularly the one after the post-season tour of Asia.
Didn't start the Europa League final.
Didn't start the Europa League final, and went on social media to complain about the fact that he only got 20 minutes in that final as well, having played a major part in the previous rounds. He could be one to watch as well. Chelsea were trying to sign him in January. Will they go back in for him? There's talk of maybe Napoli being interested in Garnacho as well. So it looks like there's going to be a number of ins at United, but a huge number of outs.
To rebuild this front three, we know that they've got Matheus Cunha in. We know that there's a second offer in for Bryan Mbeumo. And, of course, another player of interest is that man that Ruben Amorim knows so well, Viktor Gyökeres. 49 goals in all competitions last season. No question, he's a goal machine. He's played in English football before with Coventry. He's been absolutely outstanding since going over to Sporting. Obviously worked with Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim signed him for Sporting, so knows all about the play. He's had two incredible seasons. Obviously a little bit older than the other players that they've been linked with regards to number nines, but one to keep an eye on. Still no formal club-to-club contact as of yet. You get the feeling, though, that one Man United get that Mbeumo-shaped hole filled, they'll then say, right, number 9, that's our final piece of that front three. Viktor Gyökeres is the man, and we know that Sky in Italy reporting that Højlund is of interest to Inter Milan. So, yeah, a little bit of a jigsaw there, but possibly...
To you, Crystal Palace is Jean-Philippe Mateta or Sporting's Viktor Gyökeres?
Well, this is another story that's developed over the course of the last 24 hours. Now, you speak to Crystal Palace and they'll say absolutely no chance does Jean-Philippe Mateta leave us this summer. He's got 2 years left on his current deal. He had 37 goal involvements in the Premier League in the last 2 seasons, was a key part of that side that went